We're continuing to follow today's significant legal victories for President-elect Donald Trump. The federal election interference case against him has been dismissed. Special counsel Jack Smith has also filed a request to end the classified documents case against him that's based down in Florida. We are joined now by Harry Litman. He is, of course, a former U.S. attorney, a former deputy assistant attorney general, and the host of the Talking Feds podcast, who has been a frequent voice of expertise for us throughout the trials and tribulations of Mr. Trump. Harry, at this point, is there simply no way forward for these cases now that the president-elect is returning to the White House?
And that is the short answer. There is a couple months left, and some people were arguing that maybe Jack Smith could make some maneuvers, but really the writing is more than on the wall. It's, everything but sealed and delivered. Come January 20th, he could simply order the department to stand down. What Smith has done today is a little bit different, and we'll see how he reacts. As he said, dismiss these, but without prejudice. That means, they're on life support, but a weak heartbeat continues. They could still potentially be revived come 2029. Lots can happen between now and then, but it's not the definitive dismissal that Trump would effectuate were he to come in with the cases still around.
And we should point out, once he's president, he could, in essence, wipe the slate clean himself, at least among the federal cases, right?
Yes and no. I mean, it's a little bit unclear how he then revives them, gives them back to a court, and then says, please dismiss them with prejudice. That's something that a court could refuse. Many people have speculated he could pardon himself, but that's pretty tenuous in constitutional grounds. So I'm sure he will fight hard to make these cases not simply go away for 4 years, but go away forever. And I think it's a little bit unclear that right now that he can achieve it. So in that sense, having been routed generally by the happenstance of the election, Smith had one little card left to play, and he has played it.
So we were just showing people, and we should show them again, the various cases facing the president-elect, the federal and the various state-level cases. As you can see, they're convicted in New York. The Georgia case is delayed. The elections, January 6th case now dismissed. We're waiting on a dismissal ruling in the Florida classified documents case. There's the civil case involving E. Jean Carroll. When it comes to the New York so-called hush money case and the Georgia election fraud case, do the judges in those situations take cues from what the feds have now decided? Is there a chance he never gets sentenced, for example, in the New York case?
I think there is. First, in Georgia, the Court of Appeal there, that's where that case is on the motion to recuse. Bonnie Willis has already taken its appeal off calendar and said, we're not even going to tell you if we're going to bring it back. In New York, yes, the judges said Trump has a big motion to dismiss based on immunity, saying make the whole thing go away as if it never happened. And if he wins that motion, which the judge has agreed to hear first, then the sentencing goes away. If he loses it, he'll appeal that loss, maybe all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. But if and when a ruling of that nature is upheld, there's still the possibility of a sentence by Judge Juan Merchan in the New York case where he's been convicted of 34 counts. He'll have an argument then that says something like just even showing up and being subject to punishment in this way violates the Constitution. No court has ever held it, but he could try to push a little on the immunity opinion from last year to have a court recognize it.
In our remaining minute or so, Harry, I'm curious. You've worked in the Justice Department. You host a podcast called Talking Feds, for goodness sake. Yeah. What's it like for the career attorneys at the Justice Department who see these cases falling apart? Are they demoralized by this, or are they kind of like, well, Dem's the rules, we just got to do what the rules say?
No, this is not a Dems the rules as usual kind of situation. It's not simply these cases falling apart, but the assertion of the power just from the president to make them fall apart and other things that are contemplated for the DOJ. We have a really demoralized career staff, people putting their resumes on the street, people being really afraid of what Trump's entry will mean for the storied DOJ. function of doing justice without fear or favor. This is the worst crisis I've ever seen in DOJ history.
And that is exactly how the president-elect wants it to some extent. I mean, he's
right.
trying to disrupt the federal government. Might as well start with the Justice Department. Harry Litman, we appreciate your perspective always. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ed.